Hey guys, Dr. Brittni here. So we've been getting a few questions recently about headaches, migraines, and like kind of what we can do in the office to help with that. So I wanted to kind of tell you, number one, my own personal story and kind of what I did for it. So this past weekend, I actually got a pretty bad migraine going on, like all the really bad symptoms, which obviously anybody that's had migraines or really bad headaches knows not the most fun. So I came in first thing Monday morning and I asked Dr. Vance if he could adjust me, which he did. So he adjusted my neck, which included like my occiput was out, which is the very top skull, like the bottom skull bone here. And then I had about 2-3 spots in my neck that were actually really out. So definitely contributing to that. After the adjustment, I was feeling pretty good, but I still could feel a decent amount of tension in my muscles. So luckily our massage therapist, Courtney, had a few minutes and was able to work through those muscles. And after both those treatments, was mostly feeling a lot better. But I still just kind of had like, and once again, anybody that's has headaches knows like it's like kind of like just like a fog kind of around my head, and I kind of feel it, and it was kind of like I was almost afraid to move because I didn't want my neck to go back out and cause some symptoms. So what I did, and like what we use a lot in PT and chiropractic, is a thing called the cold laser. So I'm going to kind of show you a shortened version of what we do for headache or migraine protocol. And so after I did this last night, it was probably 20-30 minutes later, I saw a patient or two, and I realized like I didn't even have that fog, didn't have that residual headache sitting around. So it really helped. So this can really help kind of push that blood flow through our brain, through the areas that are kind of causing us issues. So we kind of work through several different spots. So it's going to sound a little weird just in case you can hear it. But so we kind of work through these first. So we have a bunch of arteries and stuff that go right through this front of the neck. So we're going to hold this here for a few minutes on each side, just kind of promoting that blood flow to the brain, to the head. And then like I said, we're going to do both sides. And also, like I said, I'm going to kind of do this at a quicker pace than what we'd normally do when we're actually treating a patient. It's a pretty decently length protocol. I usually say between 7 to 10 minutes, kind of depending on how long we leave it in each area. But each area we're kind of focusing on that blood flow, getting those capillaries to be pushing the good blood supply through. So like I said, we're gonna do these front ones for a little bit. And then we're gonna move to a different area here. So this one, we can kind of use two different prongs. We have this prong that we have, and we also have this one. I prefer this one, especially when it's pretty bad, but today I'm just gonna use this one. So I'm just gonna turn it back on. And once again, we have a good amount of blood supply right at the base of our skull. And that's kind of where we have a lot of nerves there too. So if any of that gets kind of trapped, it can give us pretty decent headaches, migraines, things like that. So kind of go in there, and I like to work it all the way down into the traps a bit. Just really working all of those tender areas that we have. And we're gonna work that side for a bit. And we're also gonna work the other side. Once again, getting that base of my skull. Usually when I tell people it's a cold laser, they usually say, oh, like, is it gonna feel cold? Most of the time it really doesn't. It's at like the deep cellular level that we kind of get those same cooling effects that you'd normally think of with like a cold pack, things like that, but it usually doesn't feel cold. It might even feel warm just because we're kind of rubbing the skin, getting that nice friction in there. So then we're about to do the really weird one, which most people kind of give me a funny face whenever I show them this part, but it's a game changer. Like, I did this on myself last night. I'm not kidding with you guys about that. It's huge. So we have a bunch of tiny capillaries in our nose, like right in through here, which obviously pretty close connection to our brains. So for this one, you're just gonna stick this little probe up your nose. And don't worry, it's already been cleaned. We always clean these things, so never gonna be worried about any of that. But so I'm just gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna stick it up into my nostril, and I'm just gonna kind of chill here for a little bit. Like I said, super weird. Like, I'm filming a video doing it, and it feels weird, looks weird, but it's a huge game changer. I think truly this is the one that really helped me yesterday when I had that residual migraine. Once again, we're just gonna leave it here for a few minutes in each nostril. So I'm doing this one nostril for a little bit, and then just gonna go ahead and pop that into the other nostril. let it sit there, do its amazing work. Just get that blood flow pumping, get these little tiny capillaries open, so it can kind of flush through my brain and open all that up. Like I said, just a few minutes in each nostril. I'm doing it accelerated. So got done doing that. I'm gonna set it over here. Don't worry, I will clean it. But I just wanted to show you guys kind of like what we can do. And like these are literally all things that I had done on me yesterday, and I have no headache today. So, I mean, that's pretty promising for me, especially after I was cooped up inside with a pretty bad headache the other day. But this is definitely something that we can do. I literally had a patient this morning ask me like, oh, like I didn't know you guys could treat migraines. And I was like, yes, like I had a migraine yesterday. So definitely if you have any questions about anything that we can treat, but especially migraines, we are definitely capable of treating in here. Like I said, I did chiropractic massage, and like I said, we use the cold laser a lot in physical therapy. So we can definitely help you with migraines. Trust me, I did it yesterday. But if you have any questions, definitely let us know. All right, bye guys.